Hey guys, Likey here, back with another video. This time we have finally hit 6100. Now, there was a lot of pain involved in getting this that you guys probably don't see and don't understand, because about 3 days after the 5800 video, I was like 2 battles away from 6100, top 400. I was feeling really good. It was just going really well. I thought I would get a quick 6100 video. Then I had a mega tilt all the way down to like 5600, 5500 or so. And I pushed all the way back to 6000. Then I dropped again, and this happened like 7 times. Not even lying, it happened 7 times. But I finally just focused and just tried so hard not to tilt, and it paid off, and I'm at 6100. I will be trying for 6400. I don't really care if I tilt anyway, because my best season is like 3400, and 6100 probably won't even be place 3400 since it's a really long season. But yeah, I'm definitely going for 6400, and I'll be showing you guys the last replays. And I think towards the end of this season, maybe I'll make a video literally just telling you guys how not to tilt and how to avoid tilting, basically. But let's go over the last 3 replays. We have a mirror matchup, we have a hard matchup, and then we have an easy matchup for you guys today. So let's start with this mirror matchup here. Now, there was a recent, I don't know if you would call it a nerf or rework to Elixir Collector, where it doesn't appear in the starting hand. And what that actually did was it made Giant 3 Musketeer mirror matchups a lot more fair, because a lot of times one of the players in the Giant 3 Musketeers mirror matchup would get the pump first, and then basically it would be game over for the other person a lot of times, just because like you can't get to your pump in time and they just have an advantage. But now the chances that that happens are much less likely, which makes Giant 3 Musketeers matchups a lot more skill-based, which is really good. I've always been good at 3 Musketeer mirror matchups, whether it's like Classic 3 Musketeers or Giant 3 Musketeers. That's one of my favorite matchups, so we're just going to go through what I do here. Basically, at the beginning, we just cycled to our pumps. We were just trying to get to our pumps, because when you're playing Giant 3 Musketeers and your pump's not in the starting hand, which it never is now, you want to get it there as fast as possible, as long as they're not pressuring you or anything like that. So then we kind of both start up our Giants. This is pretty typical of Giant 3 Musketeer mirror matchups. Both players will start up their Giant, they'll start up their 3 Musketeers, just kind of all in the same lane, let them do their thing. So he used bats, I just zapped it, and then I threw a battle ram in front. Now he used Goblin Gang, so he wasn't actually using any tanks here. So I was able to really take advantage of that fact and take out his 3 Musketeers. Now he has to deal with my 3 Musketeers. I have a huge elixir advantage right now. My Musketeers almost take the tower, and in something like a 3 Musketeer matchup, it's interesting because it's never over till the tower's down, because you have no heavy spells, but it's so close at this point, like 2 zaps would do it. I think this is like really, it could be game over, but the thing with this matchup is a lot of times I've like been at 200, 300 damage. There's no way for the opponent to get that damage in a Giant 3 Musketeer mirror matchup, and I just overwhelm them basically. So it's definitely possible for him to come back. I've done it many times. So here he plays the Goblin Gang, so I play my Battle Ram and my Goblin Gang. He tries to be a bit dirty, playing his minion horde on my musketeers, which is definitely a good play if you can do it, but I don't think his minion horde was close enough to get enough value. But once again, I just set up with defensive 3 musketeers, and now he decides to rush opposite lane with a giant. I kited the goblins over with a battle ram, which was a really solid play, because it not only defended against the goblin gang, but it also allowed my 3 musketeer push to be stronger. So then he came in with a lot of pressure, so I was like, there's no way I can defend that, so I might as well go in with pressure of my own. So I just sent the giant in the center, I sent the minion horde, and that was good game. Just 3 crowned him, and yeah, no problem there. So that's the first match leading up to it. Let's go to the second match here. This one is a pretty, like a really hard matchup, because he doesn't have log, he has Fireball Zap, meaning that he can really easily he could take care of my minion horde if I try to use it on defense. If he does like Ice Spirit behind his hog and zap, he has like Tornado Fireball for my Three Musketeers, which is like an instant kill basically. Um, he doesn't have any like main tank killer, but it's such a fast cycle deck. He can get to his goblins, he can get to his Valkyries, so it's just a really hard matchup, I feel. So let's basically walk through what I did. So like I said, I'm just cycling to my pump, so I just split bats, and 3 bats go towards his hog. So I was feeling pretty comfortable with that because most hog decks I face are hog 2.6, and he doesn't have zap, but he did have zap, so he did get some hog hits there, but I'm perfectly fine with that. I have my pump. I think I got a bit lucky here because his fireball wasn't in hand when I pumped, but, it happens anyway. And I just played my minion horde here. He decided to fireball it right away, so I just kited his Valkyrie over with a battle ram, and I dropped my bats to cycle to another pump. A lot of times, plays that with Giant Three Musketeers that you might not think are that good, like wasting a zap or something like that, or wasting bats or doing things like that, might not seem good, but with such a heavy deck, sometimes you just need to cycle to a pump. So it's like, even if it doesn't seem worth it in the moment, it'll be worth it eventually, just because you got to your pump that much faster. So he doesn't have his fireball again, just because he used it on my minion horde last time. I know he doesn't have logs, so I play my goblin gang and defend that hog fine. And I'm just setting up for a push. I don't think I know he has Tornado at this point, but yeah, he uses it, gets tons of value here. I'm not sure if he fireballs it. He might be waiting to see if I like play a minion horde behind the giant and fireball that, and play the Valkyrie on the Musketeers. So yeah, that's definitely smart by him because the Valkyrie is gonna have no problem against those. And the fact that he doesn't even need to Tornado Fireball was pretty hard for me. But I'm able to get a minion horde tons of damage on the tower, so that was really good. And once again, I just set up another pump because the general convention is if you're going into double elixir and you are winning the match, meaning you have the damage advantage, you typically want to pump. But if you're losing the match, meaning you need to make up damage, then you don't want to pump. It's a bad idea because, if you end up pumping and not making up the damage, that's just a useless pump. But, yeah, here we go. So I just play my Three Musketeers in the center. He pulls them all into one lane. Pretty sure he fireballs, does he not? So that might be his mistake, relying too much on the Valkyrie. Sometimes the fireball would just be safer. But yeah, as you can see, like my Musketeers survived the Valkyrie, so that was not very good by him just because Valkyrie into 3 Musketeers, it can't take them out. 2 Musketeers, tower assisted maybe, but 3 Musketeers, no. So, yeah, here we go. So I just keep pressuring, and there's nothing he can do about this right now. And that's basically the game, so good game to him. And that's the match. So let me show you guys the final battle that led up to 6100, and it was this one, this really easy balloon matchup. Now, he did have, like, a lot of splash. He did have the bowler for my battle ram, so he did have quite a bit of stuff to deal with me, but overall, it was pretty easy here. So I'm just going to run it in 2 times speed just because it's not a hard matchup at all. Because the thing with Balloon is you have so many counters. You have, like, you have your minion horde. So here he plays a baby dragon in front of the balloon, meaning that I can literally just take everything out once the baby dragon locks onto the tower, and I got so much value. I'm like 5-6 elixir ahead. That means I can pump up, and by the time I recuperate the elixir from the pump, we're like basically even. So I'm looking really good at this point. Just getting tons of value against that balloon with the minion horde was crazy. And typically, against decks with bowler, they're going to use the bowler on one side, and that could be the giant side. So if they use the bowler on the giant, definitely go ram opposite lane, because that's their best counter that they just wasted. So, if you are trying to play like Splash Yard or something against, like a Giant Three Musketeers deck or something, I would definitely recommend saving the bowler for the battle ram, because when they use it on the giant or something, it's not as worth it, and they can just rush you in the opposite lane like I did there. So that was an easy 3 crown he gave up, and that led to 6100. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'm definitely going for 6400. I hope I can do it. even if I can't, I guess it's okay. Giant Three Musketeers, or Three Musketeers being my only deck, like, you know, if I tilt, I tilt, but yeah, and I miraculously did on tilt, like, I didn't give up, so, hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.